really attacked actually. No. So like in terms of getting it worse, I feel like in the past, I remember like I've been like out on the street one time with like a white guy, and I've had a black guy walk past me and give me the most horrible look. And I'm like, hold on a second, that's out of order because the amount. Count.
Bruh, she's bare fingers.
She ain't got enough fingers, basically.
Do you know, I haven't got enough fingers and toes. Don't now, like, I would probably catch you next day walking on the street with like a non-black woman, yeah, and that's okay. But now you've seen like me with somebody who isn't. I feel like I get kind of a lot of shit for that, like, or people I know get shit for that.
Yeah.
And just listening to your reaction when I was like, no, definitely black women. I kind of was like, actually, I think it might be somewhat balanced, but I also feel like, because obviously like in terms of the society, and you've got like this hierarchical like kind of structure, and we live in a society which is both sexist and also racist.
Yeah.
Your black women will fall right at the bottom of that hierarchy.
Yeah.
You're right.
You won.
Yeah.
You won.
We won.
I would actually say
got
that,
all
which
the
means,
oppressions,
but I think
that
might
you know
also
what I'm
mean
saying?
potentially that because of that, obviously falling there and then not when you get
People
you
are
get
just
stepped
like,
out on, there's more of an uproar about it.
That's true.
Or because that's where so there's going to be more of a ratio, I suppose, of like the men stepping out on the women. So that's probably why you'll be like, no, we definitely get it more.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's a
because
high
of the
percentage.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's the hierarchy.
I think-
And also I think that generally you find more black women are like willing to be like, no, I'm gonna stand.
Part with this ancient nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we will. Stay
Yeah,
here.
we know.
And like, I remember
willing,
having
yeah.
conversations with like a friend back in uni. I remember watching. I'd like watched this film, Something New, which is like with Sana Lafan and like Simon, whatever his name is. And the film's basically she was with like her black husband or partner or whatever, and then she meets this white guy, and he's basically like to her, no, I want you as you are, like supernatural, like I just want you naked, like I don't want you to straighten your hair or anything like this. And so he's like, I want to love you for who you are, whereas her like black husband's like, can you straighten your hair?
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
remember
you
that
know?
film. That film's
So,
stupid.
Yeah, but
I understood the message, but it's a terrible film.
but there's yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
There's
a message there.
there,
There's a
right?
message there.
And that's an experience that a lot of people have had.
Of
or
course,
black women have
yeah.
had.
I do
And
hear
I
that.
remember being talking to I've spoken to, sat on a table with like a group of my black female friends, and so many of them have been like, I won't date outside my race. And I'm like, so you're gonna stay here like lonely?
With these niggas.
When there's
With
nobody
these
enough
niggas.
to love you. Yeah, you're struggling here. You're dry. Yeah, literally, you're staying here in the dry, in a drought, in a drought, right? And
But she said,
do you know? No, that's because I'm referring to what she said
With
before.
these niggas.
But like,
These,
you're
man.
gonna
These
stay
niggas.
here in this drought, and
Yeah.
like, you know, these people are the people you're same people you're waiting on are like they're living, they're gallivanting, they're living their life, like
Yeah.
you'll stay here.
I
And
think
that's why there's probably more of a thing like kicking up a fuss about it, because they're like, no, we were gonna remain because we need to stand together because of history, this, that, and the other. And black men are like,
Well,
yeah,
no, but
this is.
we've spoken
Yeah.
about it. We touch on it in the play, but we
Yeah.
also have spoken about it a lot in the sense that I think one thing is for definite that black guys don't get as much as black girls do. The sense of, I don't necessarily think a lot of guys would go up to a girl and think, does she like black guys?
Yeah, we talk
Whereas
about this all the time.
black girls, generally, one of my first thoughts,
No
if
desirability
I look
thing.
at
Yeah.
anyone,
Yeah,
my first thought before I talk to any guy, it doesn't matter
Where
what colour
they
you
are,
are,
Do they
where
like
you're
black
from,
girls?
where-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do you
true.
date black?
yeah, no,
That's
it
true.
is
Messed up,
big.
that is.
'Cause
Like,
literally,
do you
I
think
remember being
that?
at uni
We
and like
know that,
like
yeah.
a lot of my friends, because
It's
I went to
messed up.
Southampton,
It is.
with,
We talk
like
about this.
predominantly like white uni. Like a lot of my white friends, they were having boyfriends going out with guys, and they were like, "At least like you're being really picky." I'm like, I ain't being picky.
I'm not being
They
picky.
ain't
They're-
picking
they're
me.
They're
not
not
picking
picking
me.
me. No
Me.
one's checking for
Like
me.
I had to explain it to
No,
like my
yeah.
white friend. Like she's
Now
like,
that you're
really
saying it,
open.
it's
She's
true.
like-
It's
I
true.
don't think that-
Like
'cause,
I hear
it's,
it, like
it's mad.
I have like a lot of friends, black like female friends, and now that you're saying it, I realize that this is a lot of what they say. Like,
Yeah.
just no one out here, and I'm like, what do
Yeah.
you mean? Like
It's
you're
like when
you're buff and people
Yeah,
like
you're-
Yeah.
now like no ain't nobody picking
And
me.
you're
I'm
like,
like,
I know
Yeah.
I'm buff. Like I've seen my face.
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
in the mirror.
Come
I
on.
know.
There we
I
go.
know.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
there we go.
Look at these
Yes,
edges.
I really do.
Come
I
on.
know what I look
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
Camera,
yeah,
get the
yeah,
edges.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know,
Still got your teeth.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, my teeth are still here.
You're not homeless.
My
I
teeth
know,
are still
I'm
here.
not homeless. I've
I
got
got
my
my
teeth.
teeth.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
And I know what I look like, and I know like I'm like, yeah, no, I'm actually great. Like that's fantastic.
Just niggas ain't shit.
But also,
Yeah.
who's shaking? And you even knowing that I'm like, how can I look like this? And I'm looking at you,
Nah,
and you
facts.
look like that, and they're going for you.
Yeah,
I love
nice.
like this.
Yeah.
I'm actually offended, and do you know what? At that point, I don't want none of you.
I don't.
I don't want none of you
You
because
could all
that's
stay
rude.
in the corner.
You
But
know-
I do think, and that's
Stay
like the
there.
big thing about Love Is Blind, and I feel like because that is a massive thing. I would never. I mean, it doesn't happen anyway. But if someone would try to set me up with someone, I would never be like. I'd always think, have they seen?
Have-
a
do
photo
they
of
know
me?
that
Do they know I'm black?
Do they know
Yeah.
my
Do
colour?
Do they know what I look like?
colour?
And that's
That's
yeah.
a whole
That is
pre-
mad.
You have
That
to-
is-
oh, by the way,
but
they're
that's-
Is that even if it's a black guy as well?
Yeah.
They said anyone.
Yeah.
That is
anyway.
mad.
But it's different for us
Yeah.
because if we're dating a black girl, she's gonna like us because she's not thinking of, I don't like black guys.
Yeah.
So for us, we don't have to think about that. It's like we like black
And I
girls,
think
they like us.
growing up in, like, obviously, so I grew up in East London and then I moved to Essex, but I went to primary school in Essex and then went to school in central London, but predominantly where I was in a lot of white spaces and the few black guys that were there, not including my best friend, shout out to Keela, I love you, but a lot of the black guys that I was around, especially in Essex, not necessarily at school, would never go for black girls.
Damn.
Never, ever, ever.
You say that's because of where they're situated.
I think it's because of where they're situated.
Combination of things.
Because there's a lot of things that I think go into it. I think there are a lot of hardships in it. I think a lot of the time you've got to think, growing up in these societies and growing up in situations, and you think, you know what? Even when you get older and you have kids, being a dark-skinned person in London is not easy. It's not a thing. So then I think it becomes a thing of when they grow up, I don't know if they want to
Yeah.
Or do you
have
wanna
dark-skinned
have your
kids because you don't want to have your kids.
Yeah.
We've
Like,
spoken to someone
yeah,
about it,
it's like
Yeah.
some of
like-
the situations
Yeah.
that